Hello everyone. Good morning. Hi. I'm here. I'm live. Welcome whoever is joining right now. Welcome to the Crosslink channel. So, why are we here today? I think last week we've been building on the Z100. The problem is, or 2 weeks ago actually, and the problem is now that I figured that all of the linear rails that I ordered from China, so the cheap ones, so these little linear rails here, and also the rods were ordered from a separate store, and these things, it's super difficult to make them fit together so that there's no wobble and there's no rattling and it's just moving perfectly. I anyways did already move from these dry-ins to the linear bearings, and that was a huge improvement in like movement smoothness, but still I realized that they just don't fit together so well, and it's super hard to find perfect pairs. And to find the perfect pairs of like the right rod with the right linear bearing, you obviously have to order a lot of stuff and then try to find all the right pairs, and so you're wasting a lot of material and money just to figure out the perfect match, and in the end you might not even have the perfect match, and you might be throwing away a lot of stuff. That's why I made this super hard, and painful decision to order the expensive Fushi set of bearings and rods made specifically for the V100. That's Matt the Printing Nerd's kit, basically from AliExpress. Initially, I didn't want to go this path, but now I said, whatever. It is as it is. I wanna have this printer working. Yeah, and now it's basically I made this decision now and said, okay, I don't want to bother too much anymore. And here you are. Here we are. So I'm going to unpack it first to see what we get in this package. And then we are going to basically replace all of the existing rails and rods. I hope that there is some kind of... I can get an idea how this all fits together. I hope that there is at least some kind of... I don't know, is there anything in here? But it seems that it's basically the kit of the rods that we're getting. And then we get these black linear rails. I mean, honestly, they look nice, no doubt. And that should be everything that we need to make it work a lot better. What else did I decide here? I figured that I got a few very clever people in the chat, and some of them have already built this printer. And there was a few suggestions in chat last time what to do, like what kind of add-ons to print. So I printed a bunch of add-ons. Minor changes. Honestly, one of the bigger ones, or the most obvious ones, is that we are going to have front braces here at the fronts, where we have the linear, the rods and where the printer is basically running up and down. So we're going to have these braces here that is going to hold the front of the printer in place, so it's not like while the printer is pushing the bed up and down, the front side has basically no counter element that is holding it, and that can cause the bed to like basically not move smoothly, because it might get like tilted, and then basically once this starts tilting, because of maybe there's some weight on the front of the bed, and then it starts tilting a little bit, just a little bit, and that could already lead to binding, and then this might like basically push and then make a jump. So it's like basically making sure that the whole frame is a little more rigid, and it's like it's not pushed by the bed movement in any way. So that's all. That's the major thing. I've already got myself this little electric plug here with a switch, because we do not want to go this path that was originally suggested in the manual of this printer, in the build manual, just by like basically putting the cable directly to the power supply. First we want to like connect the power supply to the switch here, and we have also an indicator whether it's switched on, because there's a little light bulb in here, and we have a fuse also in here just in case. And yeah, we just can unplug the printer and switch it off properly. We don't have to use the plug all the time. I think this is definitely one thing that you want to do. Yeah, and I think I did already also, I think a few suggestions were to replace some of the parts. Partially I did that already here on the printhead. I used a bearing holder that is adjustable. That is already much better than just having to press in the dry lens or the linear bearings. Yeah. In the meanwhile, while my printers are running, printing some panels. So you see we made some progress here with the back panels. It's getting more, and every single day I think we're printing probably 6 to 8 panels, and in the next couple of weeks this whole Scottish wall is gonna be finished. So Rix, welcome to the stream. Jean-François, welcome. Reds 3D, welcome. Thanks for joining. It's gonna be a little smaller stream today because we're obviously in a different time zone now. At least for the US-based people, it's gonna be too late in the evening? I think for now it's I don't know, somewhere at night already. Maybe very late. Very late. So whoever's joining, let me know where you're coming from. And I will start. First of all, I'm gonna put this to the side because I wanna keep don't want to confuse parts. So we're gonna put everything to the side that we don't need. And first of all, removing all of the existing rods and rails and bearings. So we can then just put on the new ones. Here it's quite easy because you just have to release it a little bit, take them out. That's easy. 1:30 a.m. Here it is 8:30 in the morning. So it's basically before my workday starts. I have time until I think we have 1 hour from now, somewhat 1.5 hours to do this. Yeah, I did another minor change that's not so obvious, but I replaced the belt tensioners here inside. Got myself a new version. It was also a chat suggestion last time to print a different version because the different version supports much better these the tensioners, and also it printed these little nuts here, or nut holders. Basically, what is it? A wing nut adapter. So we can much easier do the belt tensioning here at the end. And I think one problem was with the previous, the first version that we had, that there was basically the belt tensioner screw was interfering with the bearings inside of this part. The bearings are supposed to run the belts around the corner, and the screw might be pushing against those bearings, blocking them from movement. That was one improvement that was also suggested last time. So a few minor things that I have done in the meanwhile to improve things a little bit. And besides that, it's still basically how we left it last time when we were supposed to finish. One other thing that I already, I'm gonna show it to you in a second. I also printed out and finished the heated bed mount, essentially the whole heated bed assembly. And we'll also have to replace the bearings there. So I'm just gonna first take out this part here, which is a little bit more work. We have to replace the bearings on the hot end, but before we can do that, and also on this sliding piece here on the y-axis gantry. So that's a little more work, still not too much. And now we can take it apart. Another topic that people pointed out last time was that taking apart the section shouldn't be so easy. It should be a little more sticky in a way that it should be, the holes should be tighter. And we came down to the conclusion that the reason why I can take apart the gantry so easily is most likely because the rods are not, the diameter of the rod is a little too small. So these, the precision of these rods is basically so much off that they're coming out of this of this piece here too easily, and that's also another sign that things are not perfectly fitting. And it could be that the rods are a little too small, and that's also one reason why the whole construction is a little bit rattling around. You will see this in a second. The whole tool head is running smoothly along these rods, but there is also the problem that it is wobbling around like crazy. I can show it to you. Let's take out this rod first. So what you can see here is it's running smoothly, that's not the issue, but you can also hear it doesn't have a lot of contact, and then this is very concerning. See this? And that's also a definite sign that something's off here. Either the linear bearings are too big or the rods are too small. My best guess is that the rods are too small and things are not. Like, I tried all kinds of different rods that I have. I have ordered a bunch of them, so I was anticipating some of these problems, and then because of that I ordered a couple spare rods, but still I was not successful finding a good pair, or finding all of the good pairs. And so this is basically coming to a point where I have to replace all of this, and then making the decision to go for the more expensive ones, but this is hopefully going to be much better in the end. So this, hopefully we can take this out without completely disassembling it. As I said, today is more like a kind of intermediate maintenance. So, I mean, we can figure out if these parts are somewhat reusable in another project. For now, I would say I will have to put everything to the side and figure that out later. So I have this hole's very greasy. That's why we want to keep it in the bag. And so I can already put in the new ones here. So they should be pre-lubricated. Question is if we should still put in our own grease. I would say yes, we go for putting in a little more grease ourselves later, once we start assembling everything back, putting in more grease, and now we can insert them back into the holder. How's everyone doing? If it's so late for you, 1:30 in the morning, what have you been doing today? Stayed up late for a movie or something? So I think we're good here. Don't want to overdo this. First part is replaced. We're gonna come to this other section here. Do the same thing again. I can't sleep, honestly. Okay, it's not good. Got my new Ender 3. V3? Is it a V3? The new V3 with the fancy frame? Oh my goodness, you're winning a 3D printer. Oh my goodness. Sounds awesome. Sounds great. Yeah, that's, I wished you a lot of fun with the stuff that you get. 2 printers. I mean, is it the new, yeah, the new Core X or XZ? Yeah, nice. Nice. So, Creality promised me that they're gonna send this printer to me as well, so we can test it. And then we have all the 3 new printers here. We're gonna have the KE, the K1C, and the V3 here. And yeah, there's definitely going to be, I mean, I can't keep all of these printers, obviously. So we'll have some giveaways soon, so someone can win it. Is this all tangled up so much? I have to decide very soon which printers I can keep here, because my space is limited now and people are, if we should give away some of the stuff here. By the way, I want to ask you, it's not many people here today. I think we're like 4 people in the stream, but I want to ask you, like, I have so many like parts left from older printers and builds that I've did, but there's always something that's gonna get replaced, but it's still in good shape, and basically I have no place to put it, or I have still so many parts here that I don't need anymore, but which could be definitely used as either as a spare part for a printer, or as someone wants to build a new printer, maybe here and there. I have a couple of power supplies that I don't need anymore, stuff like that. We should probably do a little bit of a bigger giveaway stream where I'm gonna put out, I don't know, all of the small things, right? Like, or like another idea that I had. Maybe you can we can chat about it. Another idea that I had, we could put, I mean, I could figure out, I don't know, a couple of things, smaller stuff, smaller items, and we do it kind of as a surprise box and say, I'm gonna put a power supply and a motherboard and, I don't know, some other pieces, some nozzles, and I don't know. I have to figure it out, but I have so many little things here that I don't need anymore, that we can put a kind of a little surprise box where we like put all kinds of stuff in that I want to get rid of, but still valuable, right? Still working stuff, nothing bad, but where I see no like use for anymore. And we can put it in a surprise box and then have it given away to someone who wants to build stuff, right? I mean, this is obviously not for people who want the easy path, but who are more like, hey, I would love to, I don't know, replace my printer screen, or I would replace the motherboard, and maybe I want a new nozzle and stuff, and I have some filament, and so we can like put together a little bit of a package, a care package, basically. But that's for people who want to build stuff, right? Not for people who want something that's just working. Yeah, upcycling. Basically, I don't want to wait too long with this, because at some point these pieces, the stuff is basically unusable, right? Because no one doesn't want it anymore. But I think I have still plenty of things that were kind of part of some build or were replaced in a build, which are still super valuable things and could be used, right? So don't want to throw it away. But I also have no time and I have no motivation to become to sell all this stuff on eBay, because, like, you know, selling things on eBay that are like less than $10 of value is completely, I think, for me personally, I consider it a lot of time investment for almost no reward, right? So, and I'm kind of staying away from selling stuff on eBay that's less than $10, because it's just not worth the effort. It's just too much effort and no reward. Oh my god, I put so much grease in these bearings. Still we have to remove them. Get out, my friends, get out. Oh my goodness. I think kind of this decision to make or to use the black grease is twofold. First of all, you're not gonna miss where it is. You're gonna see it because it's black. But then it also looks dirty all the time. On the other hand, if I have this transparent grease here now, or white grease, where is it? It looks better. It looks white, or yeah, I don't know where it is. Actually, here it is, the loop. It looks better. We're gonna use it instead of the black grease. But I mean, still, you still don't want it anywhere on your clothes, or you don't want to have it everywhere. The color actually doesn't really matter, right? Yeah, selling is always like kind of a pain, especially for small stuff, because I'm not so concerned about the fees. I think the fees is one thing that is always the same thing. Basically, you have to accept it at some point, but the time investment and time for and the return, basically what you get, right? You get, essentially you invest almost the same time to list something that is $10 and takes me the same amount of time, almost the same amount of time, maybe a little more, to list something that is, I don't know, 500, right? But the reward is so much better. So that's why I say it's not really worth my time investing for $10 pieces on eBay. I'd rather give it away, right? So someone else can be happy. So, Alexander, good morning. Good morning. So I am just replacing all of the bearings with the more expensive versions, because I'm kind of upset and finished, mentally done with the ones that I bought, and I decided to go for the all-in with the expensive kit. So we're gonna do this now. We're gonna replace them, and also the rods. We're gonna replace them with the ones from the kit. Hopefully everything fits together much more like tightly. And I don't like charging a lot for 3D prints though, and I don't have any major prints that are expensive. My most expensive model is this $160 multicolor Elvis model. So you're selling this stuff on Etsy. Awesome, awesome. I'm mostly, when I sell something, at least how it was in the past, is most of the stuff that I did so far with 3D printing and selling is custom things that are completely one-time effort things. Of course, these are more expensive then, right? Because you have a lot of work involved, and that's what I'm charging for mostly, right? I'm charging for the design work and the IP basically, and not so much about the printing effort. I think the printing is the cheapest part of it. I mean, we have one example here again. We have some from the puppet player guy that I think you remember maybe one of the videos where I was replicating puppets, unicorns and other puppets. And this is again, he sent me some of these hands for puppet hands. We have to duplicate them a couple of times. So this is the kind of stuff that I'm doing sometimes. That's not, still not, I wouldn't consider this something serious. It is just a little bit of a side stuff that's going on. But yeah, selling on Etsy was always kind of on my list. I just didn't get to, I don't have yet any great idea what to do there or what to sell. Maybe it's gonna hit me at some point, or I'm gonna stumble upon something. Most of the time I probably will, this will be something that I'm doing for myself, and then at some point I see the value that some other people might be interested. But let's see. I mean, I am still super busy with other things. That's, building a 3D printing business isn't so high on my list yet. The power supply of this printer is 24 volt and it has 15 amps, so 360 watt something. I think it should be good enough for this small printer though. So now we have replaced these. I think we should loop them now. So we're gonna let's try out the new rods immediately so we can figure out if the fit is much better now. I hope that we have some good pairs now. Come on. So we should have, oh my goodness, this is so greasy, it's unbelievable. Everything is so greasy. I mean, this is a plastic bag. Why is it greasy on the outside, my friend? This is disgusting. Too much! It's too much. We're gonna do our own grease anyways. So. Good, so I can touch it now. Let's see if the fit is better. Oh yes. That's much less wobble. I mean, there's still minimal wobble, but it's so much better now. It's so much better. It's like a night and day difference, honestly. I'm not over exaggerating here. Most likely the rods have been a little bit too small. But this is way better. This is way better. Good. Let's try these other ones here for the y-axis movement. Oh yeah. Seems also more quiet. So we're gonna push a little bit of the grease in. And just like, don't overdo it, but we want to put some, is this open or is this closed? We have to cut off. It's very hard to see actually. It seems to be closed. Probably have to cut off the cap. So let's do this. So maybe use scissors. Okay. Ah, yeah. So let's push in the loop. Just gonna put in a little bit of a mount here. I'm gonna push it through. And here we come. Do it from the other side. Okay, I mean, we can also keep it in already because this rod is required anyways. A little bit of excess here. So this is prepared. So we need another set here. Channel keeps you very busy. I stay busy trying to record one short a day, and they're only a minute long max. Yeah, but I think still a good short is still quite some work, right? If you like, don't know, are you doing some editing? Are you just recording stuff and then like in sequential, or are you going through an edit for every single short? Yeah, the new bearings, Fushi linear bearings, is supposedly better. Maybe we can reuse what we have here. Just trying to get it in the next one, so we don't have to throw everything away. Yeah, that might work. Creality is sending, or supposed to send me, the new printer, the V3, beginning of March. So probably, I mean, I have to finish my K1C final verdict. I think I'm pretty close, and I'm not putting out so many test prints because I was focusing on a few specific use cases. I mean, we did a couple of prints already on this printer. I'm gonna do a couple more, but then I think, like, from a usage perspective, I've seen what I needed to see, and we don't have like long-term results on this printer, but on any also not on the KE yet. I'd say that's something that might come later, but like as a first kind of verdict, I'm ready to share that and make the final edit of my video probably in a couple of days. So I'm trying to push for for next week, end of next week, to finish the video, and then once that is done, I'm probably at the same time Creality is going to send me the new printer, the V3. And as I said, the idea that I'm having, because I have not the space here to keep all of these printers running anyways, I will make a decision after I've done the V3 review, most likely. Which one will I keep here in the basement, and which one do I need to get rid of, because the consolidation part is still not done here. I'm currently still using a couple of other printers that I'm not using enough. So most likely I will get rid of, I don't know, 4 or 5 3D printers. Some of them I will need to sell because I need some budget for some other projects. So I think it's gonna be kind of a mix of me selling some of the printers and giving away some of the printers. So we have a good balance in a way that I have something for my audience and I have something to finance the next projects. Just this back panel project here with all of the plastic that I've been using to build it. I think so far I've already spent around 300 euros for a new filament. I mean, most of it is still here and it's not used yet, but at the end, this whole panel project will just be probably 300-400, maybe even more. I mean, I still have to order probably another 200 euro batch to finalize the other side of the studio. So all these kind of things are taking quite some budget, and that's why it's gonna be kind of a mixture of selling and giving away stuff. But I think that's fair, and I'm totally honest here with you that this whole channels thing is quite expensive. Has grown beyond what I would call, and my wife doesn't call it a hobby anymore anyway, so it's like we are beyond the limits of what you would call a hobby. Okay, I think the lubrication of this is, at least of this part, is done. I'm going to, I have to figure out again which direction the printhead goes. Honestly, forgot about that. I think our motors were at the back and the printhead was facing front. Yeah, that's the direction. So let's put it back together. We can start with one side, mounting one side into the frame, or one of the gantry pieces. So hopefully everything is going to run smoothly again. No, it's not my job. No, I'm my job looks completely different. Where's the nut? My main job is completely different. I can tell you a little bit about it. I think since 2018, I am working at Amazon Web Services in Germany. I started as a solution architect. And since then, I've been working with different customers in different industries about cloud projects, right? So that's my main job. And now I have recently become a team manager. At the same time, or basically last year, I was reducing my weekly, what happened here? I was reducing my weekly work time to 4 days. So freeing up a little bit of my calendar for the channel. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna step down the main job by 1 day to invest more time into the channel, but I'm still keeping the job. And yeah, that's how it works for me. I think it works pretty well, so I'm not considering, or I'm not thinking about like quitting or anything. Did you meet Jeff Bezos? No, I think when I joined 2018, I think very short after Jeff Bezos left the company, he was like, not left the company, but he like left the daily duties, so to say, and So, but I didn't meet any of the high-level executives. Honestly, but I have like a couple of really good managers in Germany, especially, and I was like thinking about, should I stay in the German organization? But I like it a lot, so I'm not intending to leave the German organization, and that's why basically I also decided if I do something, if I make some kind of lateral move, as I would call it, I'm gonna become more likely a team lead in Germany and grow the next generation of solution architects. Because I think I'm pretty passionate about like helping the next generation of people to grow, right? So, oh my goodness, if you can see this now, this is so much better now, honestly. I'm not kidding. Especially the X direction it's so much more precise. Right, there's no wobbling. Oh, I can't wait. I really cannot wait to see this printer running now. So this piece is done. We're coming to... You're half German. Okay. I hear you have a 3D, like you have a 3D printing YouTube channel. Where are you coming from then? Are you living in Europe, or probably not if it's 1:30, right? So probably more likely you're in the US, or... I'm sure you weren't happy to have to redo it. Yeah, this is... It's great. I mean, having a YouTube channel on the side and running it as kind of a hobby or side hustle, it can be a lot of fun. I think you just have to see, like you still have to, like that was my biggest struggle, honestly. My biggest struggle last year, where I was really kind of thinking, where should I take it, or should I take it in a certain direction, more professional, more business. It's really, I didn't have so much fun anymore, because kind of I was having so many expectations, and I couldn't meet them, right? So I was like, I had expectations for myself, like how I wanted to, how much I wanted to work on videos, and how much I don't know, I wanted to finance some of the projects, so I needed to make some money, and I kind of had a lot of expectations towards myself, pushing a lot. But I also realized at the same time I kind of lost some of the fun was gone, right? So it wasn't really so much funny and so much for myself, right? It was just, I felt a little bit like I'm doing this for the wrong reasons, and so that's why I said, okay, I need to take it down a little bit. I need to focus back on what makes me happy, and why I was originally coming to this hobby, right? And so I was like making some hard decisions, right? And say, okay, I will come back to printer builds, for example, right? Because that was interesting to me in the beginning, and that's why I said, okay, I'm gonna dial down the number of videos, long form videos, especially, of course, because long form takes a lot of time, and dialing down the amount of time that I'm investing in the video production, and thinking more about, okay, what are the projects that I actually want to do this year, and what are the things that I'm interested in, and not the things that companies want to send me. All right, so, and that's why, yeah, that was, first of all, I didn't make a lot of videos because the thought process took a while. My personal internal debate, and yeah, now we're back into business, I would say, but in a good way, in a way that say, okay, I'm happy with what I'm doing here. I'm happy to do live streaming again, because that makes, I think for me personally, live streaming is quite some fun. Okay, we need to push out the old bearings to replace them. That's not easy. I don't want to disassemble this whole thing here. So I need to figure out a way how to push them through without... That is a good question. How do we do that? Do we push it from here? Question is how much force is required. I hope not too much, because otherwise I don't see... I mean, there's probably not a problem if we keep the old ones in, because those were actually working quite okay. Still, can try, but it's probably not the easiest thing to do. Maybe we could find a way to do it. Could hammer the new ones in, right? We could find... That could be a way to do it. Let's see. I mean, I don't want to destroy anything here, but we have to force them into because these are the only ones in this print bed. These two linear bearings are the only ones that have been pushed in, and probably we have to use, I don't know, I'm gonna get a hammer and some piece of wood. So don't worry, we're gonna do it without destroying things. Very carefully. Just have to make sure that we're having a few things in place. So first of all, I want to have this little piece of wood here underneath. So let's use this as second piece here. Okay, so we want to have this like this, and we can hopefully push this through. And this is a plastic hammer, so it shouldn't be already there. Good. It's not high enough. Fine. Good enough. Snap, not the hammer. No, it's a special hammer which has plastic covers, so and this one is a little rubberish, and this is a little, and this is also, these are both kind of elastic, so they're not, hopefully not doing any harm. I wouldn't do this with a metal hammer head. Obviously this is too much, but the plastic hammer is just the right tool for, like, if you have some sensitive parts. So let's try it again. You see, it's quite easy. Good. So it's always good to have such a an alternative hammer head for these kind of more sensitive pieces. Okay, so we have everything in place. Only part left is to grease these bearings. Where am I? Loop? Where's the loop? Here it is. Oh my goodness, we have so many paper towels wasted or get today. So should be good enough. So then you're struggling with your long form video. Yeah, Red's 3D. I think there's the long form. I started with long form, and initially I think my first videos back in 2018, I was working, each video took me about 16 hours of work to finish. So 2 full working days. And and you might think over time, yeah, this will definitely reduce. You will gonna be faster, and it's gonna be so much better, less time. But honestly, a good video still takes me around about 10 hours. So I'm still investing round about 10 hours of total work time into a video. So that includes scripting the video or like writing stuff. Even if it's just a list of bullet points, what I need to do and kind of the order of things. But still takes, like, with all of the editing, and sometimes you figure out, oh, something's not looking great, and you need to do some B-roll again, and you need to, maybe you want some music in, and I don't know, and it like comes down to 10 hours. I would say 10 hours average now to make a video. And I try to give the editing to another person. That reduced I would say I reduced my work time on the video maybe down to 6, maybe 7. But still, it's a significant decrease. I mean, you have to like calculate how much you want to pay for that, but you can definitely reduce the time. But it's also not like magically disappearing. So it's still a reasonable amount of time. So and that's after 5 years, right? So after 5 years, and I can probably claim that I can edit videos quite fast now. Still, it's of course depends on the kind of video that you're making, right? But you know, I'm doing a lot of these builds and also reviews of stuff. And it takes time, right? It's not a 5-minute thing. It's more like so many hours and a couple of days, maybe weeks. And that takes time. So one thing that I forgot to mention here is last time we figured, or this was actually offline when I didn't stream, the print bed should be it should be balanced. That means if you're getting your fingers underneath the points here where the lead screws are going through, it should be balanced so it doesn't tilt in any direction. Now it's tilting forward, so it's too heavy, front heavy. And so we should put some weight on here, and I figured how would I want to do that. Very simply, hopefully didn't put it somewhere. else. I wanted to use some some lead weights to balance out. So I just need to figure out where I put this stuff, because it's all in here. All of the stuff should be in here. If not, we have a problem. So I go searching. What was that? Oh, that's the extruder. Okay. This is all of the bearing stuff. Oh my goodness, where did I put the weights? The weights. Maybe I don't have them here. Good question. Maybe I have to look for them in my office. Probably they are not yet here. Yeah, but anyways, you get the idea. I have to balance this out so it's not front heavy anymore, and I think then we are ready to assemble the frame finally. On the other hand, what is missing here is I still need to print a proper mount for all of the electronics, because I have a little bit of a different setup than Matt the printing nerd. So I have decided to go for a Raspberry Pi clone, but not the Banana Pi, the small one, but really a full-size board. So it needs a little bit of a different mount, so you can have the main board and the bigger Raspberry Pi mounted here in this section. And then someone else was suggesting last time also to print a electronics cover, so once this is all done, this whole area is completely covered. So it's clean and nothing can fall in. I think that's one of the main reasons why this might be good. So you have something that basically protects the fan and everything else from things falling in. Curious how this is gonna work with the fan here, because I don't want to cover this. Maybe there's gonna be a little bit of a gap here. I have to figure out what this other add-on, how this works, or if we have to swap around the power supply and have it facing downwards with the fan facing down. Anyways, I didn't quite understand why the power supply is mounted this way, but this is definitely the way how it's supposed to be as per the instructions. Personally, I would say intuitively I would have it mounted up with the fan facing down, right? So it's something I need to check. I mean, it's not a problem to just swap it, but that probably requires a little bit of a different mount setup here. But anyways, this is anyways a different mount. That's something that also was suggested in last stream, that I need a different adapter for this kind of power supply, and that's why we have a little bit of an L-form adapter and an L-shape adapter here to fit this kind of power supply, this specific model, into this frame. In the original bill of materials, this power supply was in the bill of materials for Matt the printing nerd, but that wasn't the power supply that he was designing the frame for. So it's a little weird. And then someone did create an L-shaped adapter. So can I find the lead weights here, or do I have to look for them otherwise? Difficult. I think I did not put them here. Seems though. That's a good question. Probably I have them in my office, so I need to do this next time. Anyways, I think we did make some progress. We now have a fully functional frame that is running smoothly without any rattling or wobbling. You fell asleep, so I should go to bed, right? I am starting my real work day now. Got to finish this now. clean up the, my studio a little bit from all of the grease. And I wish you a good start into the day, or a good sleep, good night, good day, wherever you are and whenever you are. If you're watching this in the replay, don't forget, or even for the people who are now in the live stream, don't forget we are streaming tomorrow evening, probably for a better time for the US. I will put up the stream invitation today, so we're gonna see it. And we're doing the giveaway. We're doing the giveaway tomorrow in the evening. And we're giving away a printer. That's dual color and has a laser module. Pretty excited. I think this is a great thing. Still some potential to tinker. And we're gonna do the giveaway tomorrow. Don't forget, if you are watching from Twitch, that you can earn nozzles for the giveaway, because that's the only way how to participate. So you still have time tomorrow to join on Twitch instead of YouTube and earn the nozzles during the stream by just watching the stream. So you don't have to do anything else. Honestly, just watching the stream will get you the nozzles. And then you can just throw them into the giveaway pot at the end when we do this together, and then we have a winner. That's what I'm looking forward to for tomorrow. And I want to thank you for coming to the stream. Wish you a good night, good day.